Hey, Michelle, somebody bought our house.
What's up, guys? Spenny. You've probably heard of Victoria's Secret, Abercrombie & Finch, Bath & Body Works. Did you know they're all owned by the same man under the same brand? His name is Les Wexner. And they're also all managed by Jeffrey Epstein. That's a matter of fact. Les Wexner is the reason why Jeffrey Epstein had billions of dollars. Les Wexner is why Jeffrey Epstein was able to operate with impunity, how he got his money, where he got his money, and where he got so many of the properties that he abused so many young women at. And more importantly, Les Wexner is where Jeffrey Epstein found those young women. It's all been cataloged. Why isn't Les Wexner in prison is a great question. Les Wexner is worth $10 billion. He's the co-founder and chairman of Bath & Body Works, Inc., formerly known as L Brands. They had to change their name because of the Jeffrey Epstein Association. Wexner retained Jeffrey Epstein as his sole financial manager for 20 years from 1987 to 2007. Initially the main client of Epstein's money management firm, meaning he was the only client, which is correct, and he's how Jeffrey Epstein became a billionaire, according to Bloomberg. Epstein ran his business out of a house Wexner owned and sometimes lived in. Oh, really? Yeah, you know that creepy New York mansion? That was Les Wexner's. It actually belonged to Les Wexner. It's a very important individual in all of this story. And he's in the news again for something very mysterious. Get ready. But let's go over the Jeffrey Epstein Association, just the top line stuff. Wexner hired Jeffrey Epstein as a financial manager in 1987. He was the primary client of Epstein, who claimed to only work with clients of a net worth over $1 billion. Wexner purchased his New York property, the famous New York mansion where so many young women were abused and all of the rooms were rigged with cameras. That was a gift that Wexner gave to Jeffrey Epstein. You know that? Why isn't this guy in prison? It really makes you wonder. He's 87 years old, but he's operating still to this day. It's very, very creepy. Here we go. Wexner has been accused of failing to take action when complaints were raised against Epstein after executives reported in the mid-1990s that Epstein was abusing his power and connection and posing as a recruiter for Victoria's Secret models. Here's an article on that, how Jeffrey Epstein uses billionaire brand Victoria's Secret to lure wealth and women. Just the top line here says that a Victoria's Secret talent scout lured a young woman into his hotel room and then started to attack her and manhandle her. She fled in tears. This is the type of crisis that was reported to L Brands. They did nothing about it. In the mid-1990s, two senior executives had discovered that the same man, a close advisor to the company's chief executive, Leslie Wexner, was trying to pitch himself as a recruiter for Victoria's Secret models. When Wexner was alerted, he did nothing. It's unclear if Wexner took any action at all. The man, Jeffrey Epstein, a New York financier, had developed an unusually strong hold over Wexner, one of the country's most influential corporate titans. Within years of meeting Epstein, Mr. Wexner handed him sweeping powers over his financial, philanthropic, and private life, according to interviews with people who knew the men as well as court documents. Mr. Wexner authorized Jeffrey Epstein to borrow money on his behalf, sign his tax returns, hire people to make acquisitions. Over the years, Mr. Epstein obtained New York mansion, private plane, and luxury estate in Ohio, today valued at $100 million, previously owned by Mr. Wexner or his company. Virtually from the moment in the 1980s when Mr. Epstein arrived on the scene in Columbus, Ohio, where L Brands is based, Mr. Wexner's friends and colleagues were mystified at how the renowned businessman in the prime of his career was able to place so much trust in Jeffrey Epstein. Makes you wonder, like, what did Jeffrey Epstein have on Les Wexner? It was like, was this the first blackmail op? Right? Okay. Going back here. So local authorities were alerted about the abuse that she endured by Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell while working as an artist at Wexner's property. Within a few years, the actress filed more police reports. More Victoria's Secret models were claiming assault by Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein was charged in Florida with counts of molestation and unwanted sexual activities with a minor. And Wexner finally cut ties with him after 20 years of operations. Then, right when Epstein's second incarceration began, prior to his death, Wexner addressed his foundation, saying that Jeffrey Epstein had misappropriated vast sums of money from him and his family. This is where Jeffrey Epstein got his money, got his plane, got his properties. It was all Les Wexner. Les Wexner belongs in prison. Les Wexner faced additional public scrutiny in late 2019 when a group of wrestlers who are survivors of the Ohio State University abuse scandal, called on the state and federal officials to conduct an inquiry into the allegations of sexual assault at the Wexner property. The wrestlers called for accountability for the Wexner family's alleged involvement in Epstein abuse, raised the issue, saying that he was the biggest known benefactor of the university. So this is this is a huge problem. Les Wexner, how is Les Wexner able to continue to operate after all of this? He's seemingly the only person who really deserves an incredible amount of scrutiny. Obviously him and the intel agencies that Jeffrey Epstein was working for. He provided Jeffrey Epstein his billions. He provided him the money. In his own words, he provided him the ability to go and abuse these young women with the Victoria's Secret brand. This creepy ass house that Jeffrey Epstein used that we can now see a little bit inside of here, this belonged to Les Wexner. The actual property was bought by Les Wexner, with the cameras and everything, all of this. The abuse mansion on the Upper East Side in New York. So Les Wexner's the guy who bought this house and gave it to him. Where's that investigation? Well, maybe we know why Les Wexner isn't being investigated, or why those who were closest to Jeffrey Epstein have been protected. Jeffrey Epstein-linked billionaire just paid $37 million for Barack Obama's rental house on Martha's Vineyard. Oh my goodness. Martha's Vineyard estate, once favored by the Obamas as a rental retreat, has quietly changed hand for $37 million. The buyer is a trust linked to billionaire Les Wexner, head of L Brands. Also, the man who trusted Jeffrey Epstein with the Victoria's Secret and Abercrombie & Fitch brand. Known as the Blue Heron Farm, the 28-acre property has been famous for a long time. During the Obama presidency, the secluded property served as a family vacation home for 3 consecutive summers. At the time, they were said to have paid roughly $50,000 a week for it. The Obamas stopped returning after the Fosters bought the home and ended its rental availability. This is very strange. Les Wexner name also resurfaced in recent years because of his decades-long relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Though no longer renters, the Obamas remained fond of the farm. According to Foster, the former president once made a lighthearted attempt to reclaim it. In a New Yorker interview, Foster recalled that the former president applied pressure to resume the rental arrangement. Sadly, no, Foster told him. The Obamas pivoted to another Martha's Vineyard rental before purchasing their own home on the island for $11 million. Michelle Obama later joked that the layout on the Ellen DeGeneres show, saying, he got shortchanged the whole deal. It doesn't have enough closet space. Sorry. He's got the smallest room for his office. The couple owns homes in D.C. and in Chicago and in Oahu, where they're developing an $8 million mansion site for them and their longtime friends, the Nesbitts. So that's very interesting. Jeffrey Epstein, billionaire, financier, Les Wexner, bought the Obama rental property. So it's a very interesting connection here. It's a very pricey connection too. Obama, former Martha's Vineyard hideaway, sells to Victoria's Secret billionaire Les Wexner for $37 million. It's an odd connection, man. So the Obamas loved this place. They were trying to get it. They were trying to rent it. Les Wexner goes ahead and buys it. Does he give it back to the Obamas? I mean, remember, Les Wexner bought the house. Inside look at Obama's old vineyard retreat that just sold for $37 million. Here you can see Obama, he's about to give a presidential address from outside of the same place that Les Wexner just bought. Jeez. Jeffrey Epstein-linked billionaire pays $37 million for Obama rental home on Martha's Vineyard. Goodness gracious. Well, Obama's the one, here's new photos of Clinton and Epstein on his mantle. Obama's the one guy that I guess didn't appear up on this mantle place. Now there's a connection. I don't know. What do you think? Is there a payoff going on here? He bought the mansion in New York and gave it to Epstein. Is he gonna give this to Obama? I've been looking for a connection here, and there it is. Right in front of all of our faces. So weird. And right after the Clintons are subpoenaed for everything they know about Epstein. And all the AGs and all the heads of the FBI. There are no coincidences. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. Just thought that was quite interesting. Keep your eye on that name, Les Wexner. He knows so much more. He'll probably be the key witness, I mean, honestly, in all of this. And if you wonder where Epstein ever got his money, see ya.